with the first part of season 4 of Stranger Things finally released, I'm gonna go over some predictions and what I think the deeper meaning is to one of the most popular shows Netflix has ever seen. What's up, guys? So obviously you know I'm not really a channel focused on movies or TV shows, but I do like to document things that are important to me, and I've definitely been watching this show since its conception. I immediately got hooked on it like so many others, and now after much anticipation, season 4 has finally dropped to the public. At least the first part has. And I felt the need to come on here and talk about some of the main messages, predictions, and overall just have a discussion about it, because it was the most watched drop to any show ever, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is what I heard. So basically, if you guys don't know what Stranger Things is and you don't know, like, you didn't watch season 4, you don't want spoilers, this is probably not the best video for you. But if you have watched season 4, which I'm sure some of you have, then keep watching. This video is going to be great for you guys. So basically, as a quick overview, season 3 ended off in a kind of a cliffhanger where one of the main characters, Hopper, was trapped in a Russian kind of slave labor camp, I would say, almost, and a lot of the other characters had split off from one another. 11 and Will moved with their mom to California from the main place where the show is centered, Hawkins, Indiana, because Winona Ryder's character, I'm forgetting her name, but she assumed that it would be safer for 11 to move to Cali instead of staying in Indiana, the place where the Upside Down was conceived, at least to the knowledge of all people involved. And yeah, so that basically sets the stage for the beginning of the season, and the action picks up pretty quickly with a few murders of several side characters that were never really that important. I believe one of them was a news reporter that was working with Nancy, and another was a girl who was dating one of the, I think, the main guy on the basketball team. So side characters were killed off in standard Stranger Things fashion, but the action picks up pretty quickly when the main characters discover that there's a new villain on the loose named Vecna, who is basically the 5-star general of the Mind Flayer. So the main agent of that giant monster that has been plaguing Hawkins since the beginning of the show, he now has a 5-star general that is on the loose, and basically they know how serious the situation is when one of the main characters, Max, nearly dies in one of the most stomach-wrenching parts of the entire episode, of the entire season even, but definitely of that episode as well. It was overall just a very crucial moment in the film, because that's when all their attention turned to stopping Vecna. But what I'm really going to be focusing on is, I think, the most important part of the entire season, which is who Vecna actually is. So in order to understand who Vecna is, we first have to realize where 11 was prior to being let out into the outside world. So Dr. Martin Brenner was basically a doctor hell-bent on experimenting on kids, taking them away from their parents at an early age, not letting them know about the outside world or even that there is an outside world, and brainwashing them into thinking that this is how life is supposed to be. A series of experiments and tests ran on you to show the boss, Martin Brenner, how powerful you are in relation to those around you. And there was I think there was only 11 test subjects. I believe that 11 was the last one. And we finally learned the truth as to how this whole thing started with the Upside Down and everything. Basically, number one, or Dr. Martin Brenner's original test subject, was the son of Victor Creel, who basically got imprisoned for murdering his family. Little does he know that his son was the one who actually did it. He snapped the bones of both his sister and mom, and when he attempted to do it to his dad, he ran out of energy and passed out. So obviously this kid was twisted in the mind, and this kid's mind is the main thing that we're going to be analyzing today. So basically, this kid was one of these defectors who believed that life was meaningless at its core, had that sense of nihilism that many people have nowadays, but obviously he took it to its logical extreme. He thought he had an obsession with clocks and time because all anyone ever does is wait, according to him. Everyone is just waiting for their next paycheck, their next opportunity to live, their next vacation, and stuff such as this. And he absolutely hates this notion that he has about the world and is determined to destroy it as sort of he believes himself to be a heroine. He believes everyone else to be wrong and that they're brainwashed, stuck in a loop of reality that is presented before them. And he believes that he has the power to stop this. He definitely has a lot of physical power, and we're going to get into that in a second. But obviously it's a show, so it's pretty unrealistic, the kid's ability to snap the necks of his foes at will. But honestly, I believe that this isn't so different from, let's say, the shooting that just happened in Uvalde, Texas. These defectors, these deviations from the norm, if you will, these people who are able to be convinced that life is meaningless and that if they do a horrendous, heinous act, it will be more meaningful than sticking with the program. No matter if this was a government operation or not, or if any of the shootings in the past have been a government operation, there's still a perpetrator to this crime. And these perpetrators are somehow convinced by their surroundings, which are probably very similar to the surroundings of you and I, that the best way to go about life is to go out with a bang and murder people. I believe this is the very same construct that obsessed Vecna in the Stranger Things show. And that is pretty much why I had to take the video to explain to you guys season 4 and my thoughts on it. So, as he goes throughout the season, we can see that he has killed a lot of people, which leads me into one of my main predictions for season 4 part 2. I believe that it will be revealed that the powers that 1 and 11 have are mostly due to their ability to kill people. The more people you kill, I believe the more powerful you become. This is a metaphor for the real world, and the idea that the more you commit these acts, the easier it becomes to commit these acts, and you find yourself sliding down a rabbit hole that is very, very, very bad and obviously can destroy cities, lives, towns, livelihoods, everything. Once you get the right host for these ideas, anything is possible. And that is so scary to me. Like, the thing is, right, how do you stop this? Because, in a sense, Vecna was right? Everyone is kind of just stuck in the system. We've always known this. But that notion and that thinking that you yourself can change the entire construct for the better by committing violent acts is the part that's scary. obviously knowing the truth about the situation probably is more of a good thing than a bad thing. You can set yourself up to be financially free in the future, and you can take the path that doesn't require you sticking to the norm. And obviously that is also very scary, but it oftentimes pays off because nowadays no one really likes taking risks. So those who are able to and those who do, it has more of a likelihood to pay off because of the amount that are doing. But obviously, knowing the truth of reality doesn't give you any excuse to go out and going on a murdering spree. I'm trying to analyze and rationalize why these perpetrators feel like this is the right move. If they know that the power struggle is against those in charge, why attack the regular standard issue people? That is the thing that I really don't understand. And you can see the same thing being done within Stranger Things, right? Number one, or Vecna, whatever you want to call him, ends up killing all the other seemingly innocent test subjects. Like, whatever has happened between him and Dr. Martin Brenner and other people who he deems to be unjust and immoral has nothing to do with these test subjects. Yet they are easier to destroy because they don't have any guard, right? They're just out in the field, and the field dummies are the easiest to kill. And obviously, unlike the situation with the cops in Uvalde, Texas, 11 actually stands her ground against one and ends up banishing him to a foreign land, which we know to be the Upside Down. So in a sense, 11 did cause the Upside Down to occur by attacking 1, which is obviously a crazy plot twist that no one could have ever imagined. But the way that 1 was able to bait 11 into helping him originally was to promise her a better life and assure her that he is on her side. So I wonder if these perpetrators of these crimes in the world are being convinced to do things by people who have bad intentions. I'm sure that this is a lot of the times the case. Now, enough about all that. What can we do to stop this kind of thing? Obviously, if we see something happening in our community, we should speak up always, but we need to assure our own mental health by taking steps. And honestly, the last week I've kind of slipped up. I've done a few stupid things, and it seems to happen pretty often that I go off the wagon. So I really need to watch myself and be aware of my moods. And obviously my bad moods are nothing on the bad moods of these horrible people who do these things. But it's still not productive to be in a bad mindset, because bad mindsets usually mean that you're not going to help those around you because you're unable to help yourself. So help yourself first, and then analyze your community, and if you hear something, speak up. That's pretty much the end of the video. That's how Stranger Things relates to the current moment in time in our present reality, and also obviously some fun little trivia about the show itself. Definitely go watch it on Netflix if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to miss. Everyone's been talking about it. So with that being said, go off to it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon.